The art gallery buzzed with excitement as guests mingled, their voices a gentle hum in the air. Emma stood quietly in front of one of her paintings, a vibrant canvas reflecting her journey through pain and healing. This was her first gallery show, and despite the nerves fluttering in her stomach, she felt proud of what she had accomplished. To her surprise, she spotted Jake, her childhood best friend, standing at the entrance. Emma, his voice sent a jolt of recognition through her. She turned slowly, and there he was, older yet familiar, his smile carrying a touch of uncertainty that stirred something deep inside her. Jake, she breathed, her heart racing. It had been over a decade since they last spoke, filled with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. After a brief embrace, they wandered through the gallery, discussing the art. As Emma explained her inspirations, Jake listened intently, his gaze never leaving her face. Yet, beneath their conversation lingered the weight of the years apart. "Do you remember the summer we built that treehouse?" Emma asked, a nostalgic smile creeping onto her lips. Jake laughed, his voice warm and rich with memory. "How could I forget? We thought we could conquer the world up there." Emma nodded, recalling those carefree days filled with laughter and shared secrets under the stars. "And we made that pact, remember? That we would always chase our dreams." Jake's expression turned serious. "Yeah, I remember. Life has a funny way of changing those dreams." She sighed, feeling the weight of his words. "I guess we both took different paths." In front of a large canvas splashed with chaotic colors, Emma spoke softly. "This piece represents my struggles. It's about finding beauty in chaos. Sometimes, the chaos is where we find ourselves," Jake replied, his eyes reflecting understanding. He stepped closer, his presence filling the space with warmth. As they stood together, Emma felt a spark rekindle, yet the fear of what went unspoken held her back. The bond they once shared still lingered, waiting to be woven back together. "Can we talk?" Jake finally asked, his voice steady but vulnerable. "Of course," Emma replied, her heart pounding. They found a quiet corner away from the bustling crowd. The atmosphere felt charged as Emma sensed the mutual longing for connection. "I've thought about you often," Jake admitted, his voice low. "After everything that happened, I wished I had reached out. It felt like we just drifted apart." "Me too," Emma replied, feeling a wave of emotion. "I didn't know how to bridge that gap. It felt easier to stay silent, even though I missed you." Jake ran a hand through his hair, a gesture that was so familiar, yet tinged with new weight. "I've missed our friendship. I've missed you more than I can say." "Me too," she said, her voice thickening with emotion. "But there's so much that's changed since then. Maybe we can find a way to start again," Jake suggested, hope filling his eyes. "We've both changed, but maybe that's not a bad thing." The idea excited Emma. The years apart had created a chasm between them, filled with experiences that shaped who they had become. "I'd like that," she said softly, feeling a sense of courage bubbling within her. "Tell me more about your art," he said, shifting the topic but still keeping the atmosphere intimate. "I started painting again during the pandemic," Emma explained. "It was a way to cope with everything, loss, uncertainty. Each piece is like a chapter of my life, expressing emotions I couldn't put into words." "Your art has always had a way of capturing feelings," Jake said, genuinely intrigued. "I remember how you used to lose yourself in painting. It was your escape." "Yeah, it was," Emma admitted. "Finding solace in colors allowed me to process everything around me. I never realized how much I needed it until I picked up the brush again." As they spoke, Emma felt the barriers she had built around her heart begin to crumble. Jake's presence brought comfort, and for the first time in a long while, she felt understood. "Can I come to see your studio?" Jake asked, his eyes hopeful. "I'd love to see where you create." Emma hesitated for a moment, then smiled. "Sure, I'd like that. It's a small space, but it's filled with my heart and soul. Over the next few weeks, their friendship blossomed. They met often, exploring the city, sharing meals, and indulging in deep conversations about life, dreams, and the uncharted territory of their renewed relationship. Each encounter felt like unwrapping a gift, slowly revealing layers of who they had become. As they explored art districts and quaint cafes, laughter flowed easily between them. Yet, the lingering question of whether they were meant for more than friendship hung in the air. The chemistry between them became undeniable, and the unspoken words of love that had been buried began to surface point one evening, while sitting on a rooftop under a blanket of stars. Emma felt a surge of courage. "There's something I need to say." Jake looked at her, anticipation etched across his face. "What is it?" Emma took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "I've realized that my feelings for you never really went away. Even when we were apart, you were always in my heart." Jake's eyes widened, and a slow smile spread across his face. "I felt the same way, Emma. I never stopped caring about you." In that moment, the barriers that had held them back shattered. They leaned into each other, their lips meeting in a soft, tentative kiss that spoke volumes about years of longing, regret, and hope. As they pulled away, foreheads resting against each other, Emma felt a sense of relief wash over her. They had crossed a threshold together, embarking on a new chapter filled with promise. With every moment that followed, they embraced their new reality. The unspoken words that had once weighed heavily on their hearts transformed into a beautiful dialogue of love, trust, and understanding. Together, they faced the future with open hearts, ready to explore the depths of their connection, hand in hand. Days turned into weeks, and their relationship deepened. They shared dreams and fears, vulnerabilities that once felt too heavy to express. Emma introduced Jake to her creative process, and he became a part of her world. In turn, Jake shared his life experiences, his struggles and triumphs, which allowed Emma to see him in a new light. One rainy afternoon, they found themselves in Emma's studio, the sound of raindrops creating a soothing melody. "I want to create something special," she said, looking at the blank canvas before her. "Can you help me?" Jake grinned. "What do you have in mind?" "I want to capture our journey," Emma replied. "All the moments that brought us back together." With enthusiasm, they began to paint, their strokes intertwining as they poured their hearts onto the canvas. They laughed, shared stories, and reflected on their past while envisioning their future. The canvas transformed into a beautiful representation of their relationship, filled with colors that symbolized their connection. Vibrant reds for passion, soft blues for understanding, and golden yellows for hope. As they stepped back to admire their creation, Emma felt a surge of gratitude. "This is more than just a painting. It's a testament to our journey." Jake nodded, his eyes reflecting the same emotion. "It's a reminder that love can be rekindled, no matter the time apart." And so, hand in hand, they stepped into the future, ready to face whatever life would bring, knowing they had each other to lean on.